If you want to be confident, you need to stop these habits. Confidence. It's not just a buzzword or a fleeting feeling. It's the backbone of your identity, the engine that drives you forward. Yet, have you ever stopped to think about how fragile it can be? Confidence isn't something you wake up with one day and never lose. It's built, nurtured, and protected. But just as easily as it's gained, it can slip through your fingers, often without you even realizing it. The real danger lies in the habits you unconsciously pick up, the small, seemingly harmless behaviors that over time chip away at your self-assurance. These habits don't just erode your confidence, they redefine how you see yourself and how the world sees you. They're insidious, sneaky little thieves that rob you of your ability to walk into a room and own it, to look in the mirror and like who you see, to stand tall in the face of doubt. So, what are these silent destroyers? The habits that creep into your life disguised as politeness, practicality, or even humility, but leave you feeling like a shadow of who you could be. It's time to expose them. It's time to call them out for what they are and reclaim the confidence that's rightfully yours. In this journey, we'll uncover 5 habits that, if left unchecked, will leave you questioning your worth and your place in the world. But don't worry, this isn't a list of gloom and doom. For every bad habit, there's a way out, a path to rebuild and fortify the confidence that makes you who you are. So, buckle up, because this isn't just another self-help guide. It's a wake-up call, a challenge, and most importantly, a blueprint for a better you. 1. Neglecting how you look. Have you ever walked past a mirror, caught a glimpse of yourself, and immediately thought, "Who is that disheveled stranger?" It's easy to shrug off appearances as shallow or unimportant, but the truth is, how you present yourself to the world says a lot about how you feel inside. Think about it. When you're dressed in clothes that make you feel confident, you stand taller, smile wider, and exude an aura that commands respect. Contrast that with days when you're wearing stained sweatpants and an old shirt. You slouch, you avoid eye contact, and you're practically invisible. Coincidence? Hardly. When you neglect your appearance, it's not just your wardrobe that suffers. Your sense of self-worth takes a hit too, bleeding into the little things you might not even notice at first. Maybe it's the hesitation in your voice when speaking up in a group, or the way you instinctively shrink back during social interactions. Over time, this lack of confidence creeps into broader aspects of your life, your career, your relationships, and even the goals you set for yourself. Neglecting how you look becomes less about appearances and more about the message you send to yourself and others, that you're not worth the effort. By choosing to care, you reclaim control not only over how others see you, but how you see yourself, infusing every interaction with a quiet, unshakable confidence. Imagine showing up to an important meeting or even a casual outing with friends looking unkempt. The way others perceive you becomes a mirror of how you perceive yourself. It's not about designer labels or spending a fortune. It's about making an effort. Iron your shirt, run a comb through your hair, and wear shoes that don't look like they've been through a war. You're not dressing up for others. You're dressing up for the confident version of you that's waiting to break free. But this isn't just about clothing. Grooming matters. Skipping basic hygiene might seem like a small thing, but it's a loud signal to your subconscious that you don't value yourself enough to care. It's the little things: clean nails, a fresh shave, or even a spritz of cologne that makes you feel like you own the room. Confidence often begins with small rituals, and how you look is one of the easiest ways to kickstart that transformation. Neglecting your appearance isn't just a habit, it's a form of self-sabotage. It's a way of telling yourself and the world, "I don't matter enough." But here's the good news. It's one of the easiest habits to fix. Start small. Lay out your outfit the night before. Get a haircut that doesn't make you cringe. Put effort into yourself, because confidence doesn't come from a magic wand. It comes from habits that tell your brain, I'm worth it. Think about the message you're sending to the world and to yourself. If your outside reflects chaos and indifference, it's hard for your mind to feel composed and capable. When you take pride in your appearance, it's not vanity. It's a visual commitment to self-respect. Confidence radiates from a well-kept exterior because it builds a foundation of pride in who you are. So, the next time you catch yourself thinking that appearances don't matter, remember this. Looking good is not about impressing others. It's about showing up for yourself. And when you do, your confidence won't just grow, it will thrive. 2. Believing your negative self-talk. I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed. Why even bother trying? If these thoughts sound familiar, you're not alone. Everyone has that inner critic, but the problem starts when you believe it. Negative self-talk is like a bully that lives in your head, feeding on your insecurities and growing stronger with every defeated sigh you give it. Imagine you're standing in front of a mirror before an important presentation, and that voice whispers, "You're going to mess this up." Suddenly, your confidence falters, your hands tremble, and the mistakes you feared become a self-fulfilling prophecy. This inner bully doesn't just criticize, it plants seeds of doubt that can derail your decisions, making you second-guess every step and undermine your ability to succeed. The more you listen, the more power it gains, turning minor worries into mountains that seem impossible to climb. And the worst part? It's incredibly convincing because it knows exactly where to hit you. Let's picture this. You're standing on the edge of an opportunity, a job interview, a first date, or even trying a new skill. Instead of cheering yourself on, your mind whispers, "You'll fail." They'll see right through you. So you shrink back, you don't try, and you confirm the very doubts that held you back. It's a vicious cycle, isn't it? But here's the kicker. Your mind is lying to you. Negative self-talk is a trickster that masquerades as truth. It cherry-picks your failures and blows them out of proportion while conveniently ignoring your victories. It's like a friend who only calls to remind you of your mistakes. Would you keep such a friend around? Then why entertain such thoughts? The antidote is not to silence the inner critic, it's to challenge it. When it says you can't, respond with, why not? Counter your doubts with evidence of your strengths. Remember the times you succeeded, the risks you took that paid off. Write them down if you must, so they're there when the critic comes calling. Picture a student nervously preparing for an important presentation. As they rehearse, a voice in their mind whispers, "You're not good enough. Everyone will see through you." Despite the fear, they take a deep breath, walk into the room, and deliver their speech. Their hands might tremble, and their voice may quiver at first, but with each word, they gain momentum, proving to themselves that courage grows through action. This willingness to confront inner doubts transforms hesitation into confidence, one brave step at a time. Confidence doesn't come from never doubting yourself. It comes from doubting your doubts and choosing to act anyway. And don't underestimate the power of affirmations. Words hold immense power over your subconscious mind. Telling yourself every day, "I am capable, I am worthy," can start to dismantle the negative scripts playing in your mind. It might feel awkward at first, but over time, these small declarations plant seeds of belief that grow into unshakable confidence. The more you act in defiance of your inner critic, the quieter it becomes, and the louder your inner champion will roar. 3. Excessive apologizing. Sorry for bothering you. Sorry, can I ask a question? Sorry, am I in your way? Stop it. Just stop. Apologizing for existing is one of the fastest ways to drain your confidence dry. Sure, saying sorry when you've made a genuine mistake is a mark of humility, but using it as a filler word for everything, that's a problem. Picture this. You're walking through a crowded hallway and someone bumps into you. What do? If your instinct is to apologize, ask yourself why. Did you grow up equating politeness with apologizing? Or is it a way of shrinking yourself to avoid confrontation? Whatever the reason, over-apologizing is like handing out pieces of your self-worth one sorry at a time. Excessive apologizing doesn't just lower your confidence, it changes how others see you. When you apologize unnecessarily, you're telling people you're at fault even when you're not. It's like walking around with a neon sign that says, "Step on me." And guess what? People will. So how do you stop? Start by replacing sorry with thank you. For instance, instead of saying, "Sorry for being late," try, "Thank you for waiting." Instead of, "Sorry to bother you," say, "Thank you for your time." This small shift not only reframes the situation positively, but also projects confidence and gratitude instead of guilt. Recognize that your words shape your reality. Constantly apologizing reinforces the idea that you're always in the wrong or that your needs and presence are a burden. Over time, this eats away at your self-esteem and trains others to see you as someone who lacks authority or conviction. Practice being assertive. When you need to express something, say it directly without cushioning it in unnecessary apologies. If you must apologize, reserve it for moments when it's truly warranted. This doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It means respecting both yourself and others by communicating with clarity and confidence. Remember, confidence isn't about never admitting fault. It's about owning your space, speaking with purpose, and valuing your contributions. By breaking the habit of excessive apologizing, you reclaim control over how you present yourself to the world, one conversation at a time. 4. Letting others decide for you. Imagine you're at a crossroads. On one side is a path that you've always dreamed of walking, your passion, your goals, your unique vision for life. On the other side is a path chosen by someone else, a parent, a friend, or society at large. What do? If you constantly let others decide for you, you might never experience the satisfaction of carving your own path. This habit doesn't just erode your confidence, it steals your very identity. When you defer decisions to others, you send a dangerous message to yourself. I can't be trusted to make the right choice. Over time, this belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You hesitate to make decisions, second-guessing every instinct until you're paralyzed by indecision. Life becomes a series of compromises, and your confidence takes a back seat to the opinions of others. Think of the small, everyday decisions you surrender without realizing it. What to eat, what to wear, how to spend your time, all dictated by someone else's preferences. At first, it seems harmless, even considerate, but these small concessions add up, and before you know it, you're living a life that feels alien to you. Your dreams are replaced with someone else's priorities, and your confidence evaporates under the weight of their expectations. Picture this. A young professional has always dreamed of starting their own business, but every time they bring it up, well-meaning friends and family say, "It's too risky," or "Stick to your stable job." Over time, their voice grows smaller, and they stop advocating for their dream altogether. Instead, they settle into a career they don't love, constantly wondering, what if? Reclaiming your confidence means reclaiming your autonomy. Start with small decisions. Choose the restaurant for dinner, decide on the weekend plans, or pick an outfit based on what you love. These small acts of self-determination build the muscle of decision-making, strengthening your belief in your ability to steer your own life. Of course, this doesn't mean ignoring advice or being inflexible. Wisdom lies in striking a balance, listening to input without surrendering control. It's about learning to trust your gut even when it goes against the grain. Confidence grows when you take ownership of your choices, standing firm in the knowledge that even if you fail, the decision was yours. And with every step you take down your own path, your confidence will flourish, fueled by the authenticity of living life on your terms. When you let others dictate your life, you're not just giving up control, you're giving up the opportunity to learn, grow, and succeed on your own merits. Confidence isn't about always being right. It's about trusting yourself enough to try. So ask yourself, who's writing the script of your life? If it's not you, it's time to take back the pen. 5. Dropping your standards. There's a silent danger in the phrase, "it's good enough." At first, it seems practical, even wise. After all, perfection is unattainable, right? But when good enough becomes your default, it's a slippery slope to mediocrity. Dropping your standards might feel like an easy way to avoid disappointment, but in reality, it's a surefire way to erode your confidence. Your standards are a reflection of how much you value yourself. When you lower them, whether in relationships, work, or personal goals, you're essentially telling yourself that you're not worthy of more. Think of the times you've accepted less than you deserve. Maybe it's staying in a toxic relationship because at least I'm not alone, or settling for a job you hate because it pays the bills. Each compromise chips away at your self-esteem, leaving you with the nagging feeling that you're not living up to your potential. Imagine a builder constructing a house. If they use subpar materials and cut corners, the foundation will crumble over time. The same is true for your confidence. When you accept less than your best, you weaken the foundation of self-respect that confidence is built on. But raising your standards isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about expecting more from yourself and the world around you, not out of arrogance, but out of self-respect. Start by identifying areas where you've settled. Are you tolerating disrespect from friends or colleagues? Are you putting off your goals because they feel too ambitious? Write them down and then commit to doing better, one step at a time. Consider this: someone aiming to run a marathon doesn't start by sprinting 26 miles. They begin with small runs, gradually increasing their distance and pace. The same principle applies to raising your standards. Start by setting small, achievable goals that push you slightly out of your comfort zone. Celebrate each victory, no matter how minor, and use it as fuel to aim higher. When you hold yourself to higher standards, something remarkable happens. The world begins to meet you at your level. People treat you with more respect, opportunities align with your aspirations, and most importantly, your confidence grows. It's not about being perfect, it's about striving for a life that reflects your worth. So the next time you're tempted to say, "it's good enough," pause and ask yourself, is it really? Because deep down, you know you're capable of so much more. Confidence isn't built on settling, it's built on striving, on believing that you deserve the best and refusing to accept anything less. Conclusion: confidence isn't something you inherit or luck into. It's something you build, habit by habit, choice by choice. And while the journey to self-assurance can feel daunting, it's also empowering. Because once you identify the habits that hold you back, you have the power to break them, the power to rewrite your narrative. So, what will you choose? Will you continue to let negative self-talk, unnecessary apologies, and low standards dictate your life? Or will you stand up, brush off the dust, and claim the confidence that's been waiting for you all along? The path isn't always easy, but every step forward is a declaration that you are worth it. The next time you catch yourself doubting, apologizing, or settling, remember this: confidence is not a gift, it's a practice. And the more you practice, the stronger you become. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Day by day, habit by habit, you have the chance to become the person you've always known you could be. The world doesn't need a half-hearted version of you. It needs the real you, the confident, self-assured, unstoppable you. So, go on, break those habits and let the world see what you're truly made of. Because you've got this, and deep down, you've always known it.